All right, Aaron Phillips against Steven Stevens. It's Johnson City, Tennessee against Knoxville, Tennessee. It's a welterweight bout, amateur MMA. Next up, guys, just a quick word on this from each of you.
I see this fight going really good. We've had nothing but good fights out of these Knoxville hometown fighters. They've got a great support system behind them. Steven Stevens, you better believe, is coming ready to fight out of Shield, who put on a great show. He's coming off a knee injury, which is always hard to do, but I think with a good support, he may be able to come back hard.
And his last win right here, his last win right here was 20 seconds into round 1. So, you know, TKO via referee stoppage for strike. So.
All right, let's go to the cage. Here's Jennifer.
Our next bout of the evening is in the welterweight division, brought to you by Affordable Graphics. First, please welcome to the cage, Aaron Phillips.
First out is Aaron Phillips, who is 1-0 out of Johnson City, Tennessee. And Aaron Phillips out of the D3 Elite Camp in Johnson City and made his debut at Valor Fights 35. And as you were saying, Nick, in about 30 seconds was able to pick up his one victory.
Yeah, 20 seconds into round 1. TKO from referee stoppage for strikes.
Brian DePerry.
Yeah, at Valor Fights 35. That's a great way to start off your debut and everything. So, Steven Stevens, don't know much about him. I do like his name. I like how it's Steven Stevens.
Another thing about Aaron Phillips is it's trained by Dustin Long, which we just had up in Gallenberg. Dustin Long put on one heck of a fight, coming back in that 5th round to win. So he's never out of the fight, regardless where this goes. Expect big things out of Aaron Phillips. Can't ever count anybody out.
Aaron Phillips said, I'm pretty confident. I don't really know much about him, his opponent, Steven Stevens. He said, I've only had one fight in June so far. That was a quick stoppage. He said, yeah, I'm nervous right now as he was training this week. And he said before he walks into the cage, those nerves will go away. Time to go to war. And he said that he's willing to go into the later rounds. It might be the 2nd or might be the 3rd, but he said he's going to stick to his game plan and get it done. And he's going to have his hand raised at the end of the night. So Aaron Phillips, in talking to the media this week, was very confident about this fight. And, of course, that great training from Dustin Long. And then, as you guys talked about, Steven Stevens, he's got a couple of fights in Chris Barrier. A win for Steven Stevens over Chris Barrier. That was in 2015. So that's been a year and 7 months since the last fight for Steven Stevens. So a little bit of a gap there, and that was at Valor Fights 19 and 20. And then prior to that, in 2014, a win over Eric Royo. All right, back to the cage. Here's Jennifer.
And his opponent making his way to the cage. Put your hands together for Steven Stevens.
So here comes Steven Stevens, as Stevens has those wins over Barrier and Rojo, coming off of that knee injury. So it's something to keep an eye on. That's a big reason why it's been a while since we've seen Steven Stevens in the cage. And excited that it's here at Valor Fights presents Apex 12 here in Knoxville. So take a look at the tail of the tape. Aaron Phillips and Steven Stevens. Stevens with one extra fight in his MMA career. Phillips 5 years younger. Phillips also 2 inches taller. And then the weight difference, as Phillips 7 pounds, almost 8 pounds heavier than Steven Stevens. This is a 170-pound fight. Phillips is maybe a pound over it, so he's right there. But Steven Stevens well under it at welterweight at 170.
Yeah, on this show, on this card, we've actually had a couple of those to happen. One person weighs in underweight, so it's an interesting thing to see.
Doug, what do you think about coming well under where your fight weight is?
Like 10, 13 pounds under the weight that you're supposed to fight at.
With my wrestling background, I will let you guys know that every time I went to a tournament, if my coach ever bumped me up a weight class, I was never a fan. It's a natural weight that you're obviously cutting weight, but they're more naturally comfortable rehydrating, getting back to that. It shows a factor. The first round, it may be even, but I don't care who you are. That second, third, fourth, fifth, however it goes, it starts to wear, and it is what it is, guys. It is what it is.
And yeah, those weights don't factor in the rehydration. Back to the cage. Here's Jennifer.
This battle is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. First, fighting out of the Hogs red corner. He weighed in at 170 pounds, holds an undefeated record of 1 win with no losses, and fights out of D3 in Johnson City, Tennessee, Aaron Phillips. And his opponent across the cage to my right. He weighed in at 163 pounds, holds an undefeated record of 2 wins with no losses, and fights out of Shield Systems in Knoxville, Tennessee, Stevens. Your referee when the action begins is Jason King.
Jason King, our referee, in his welterweight bout at 170 pounds, presented by Affordable Graphics. It's Aaron Phillips in the black trunks from Johnson City, Tennessee. Stevens in the dark gray trunks from Knoxville, and we are underway.
Touch of gloves, almost landed a good hook there right off the bat. He's looks a little nervous, moving his head and everything.
Watch for the speed. These both guys are known for quick finishes. We'll see who wants to push the pace more and see if it tears them down. And a quick takedown,
Corner.
Aaron Phillips taking the control on top.
Corner asking for the hammer fist from Phillips on top.
Stevens looking very relaxed as he tries to make space, but not moving too much.
He's doing a great job getting his shin in there, trying to belly down, trying to turtle up.
And a quick back take by Phillips.
Wow.
Here we go. It looks like it's sunk in. I
Sunk
can't
in
see
deep.
it from this angle.
He's battling for that knife hand underneath his throat.
Separated the hand, though. Got some space there.
That's a great shot right there.
He's got to watch crossing his feet on behind him, though. Okay, quick mount transition, good transition.
Wow. And now the back.
He smoothly transitioned from mount to back.
He doesn't even have his hooks in. He lets him stand up. He's got his back. I think he's looking for
slam?
a big slam right here. Maybe a trip.
Save a little bit of energy.
Yeah.
There, maybe.
Yeah, I thought that might have been a Brock Lesnar suplex.
Yeah, I was waiting on a big slam there, but
But he took the smarter route and saving some energy, getting a quick trip.
Nearing the middle.
We were hoping for that. But
Suplex City. Look at those knees from the ground. You don't see a lot of people work like that to look for those kinds of strikes.
He's using the cage very good to pin that right angle where he can land quick shots but damaging shots.
Yeah, absolutely. Great work. Great ride right here. Oh, he's looking for the switch, but he gets a good transition back to the hips, trying to work for the takedown.
Phillips very impressive here in this first round. Scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. Amateur MMA in Knoxville at Apex 12. Stevens sticking a couple of those knees with a minute left in this first round.
Another big takedown.
Pulled him slam onto his mat.
Right on the head, but he lands in the
And
mount.
now with a guillotine.
There's the tap.
And an ups.
Wow.
He had the fight controlled, and he made one mistake and cost the fight.
That's it. That's all it takes.
That's why you have to always count your blessings. Don't get arrogant inside the cage.
Stevens off of a knee injury.
7 pounds lighter, and still comes in and gets the win.
That's awesome, man.
Very impressive for Stevens and the Shield Systems camp. So excited for Stevens.
Shield Systems having a great night here tonight.
Here
we go. Working the takedown. He gets a great right on the head.
When he slammed, he didn't
But
take it to his
he
side.
turns right in the mount. He recovers from the slam right here. Just incredible. He gets his hooks in. We call that a grapevine, where he's trapping his legs so he can't move, and the guillotine is there, man.
The alpha male's known really, famous for holding that one-arm submission.
Yeah.
And it seems like he just did a variation of that, locked it in, stayed calm, relaxed throughout the entire fight, and got the win.
He did a great job. Great job by Stevenson.
Wow, very impressive. Stevens moves his record to 3-0. We see Amy Coleman. This is tough as it gets with the females.
Great fighter right there.
And man, what a
And
night.
respect between two fighters shaking hands. That's always good to see after
That's
the fight.
man. It's nearly impossible to fight another man and not shake their hand at him.
All right, to the cage to announce our winner. Here's Jennifer.
Your referee stops this fight at 2 minutes and 10 seconds into the first round. For your winner via guillotine submission, Out of the OEB blue corner, Steven Stevens.